Hey everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to do something a little bit different for me. Instead of showing off one of my complete runs, or usually my videos are two complete runs, and are evidently way too long, I'm going to try to do just an individual card. So I'm going to focus on talking on one card, and I will only record half my run. And the purpose of this is so we can start isolating individual cards that are going to be good in this game mode. And what do I mean by good? Well, honestly, I think it's a billion. Let's call it 1.5 billion. Somewhere between 1 billion and 1.5 billion is the baseline for good. There are many cards that could do much more than that with the right setups. But for the majority, I think 1 to 1.5 billion is a good amount of damage for a single card during a Titan run. Okay. So that's what we're going to do here. Showboats are the first position on today's Titan mode, or Titan Tour, or Titan Takeover, or whatever you want to call it. But it's Showboat has to go first, and it's got to be Hype 1. Shiny John Cena is one of my few Showboats with Hype that I already have on there. And I think he has the recipe to be pretty decent, but I think the execution is going to really show off how it works. So there's a good chance that if this card doesn't do at least 1 billion damage, nobody will see this video. If it does do 1 billion damage or more, then everybody will see this video, and I apologize in advance for this thing being kind of experimental. This is just an idea that popped into my head while I was talking with my faction about what cards are working. So yeah, I decided to give it a shot. So my Shiny Cena is pretty decent. His gear does nothing. I do have the Cena moments. We're adding 50% gem damage here, and we'll get some move damage, but that's not really what we're here for. Okay, it's all about the gem damage. And then I think I'm going to use the triple red setup. The sit out hip toss, choose 6 gems to make into green, is specifically to trigger the pyro gems. The pyro gems make red. And then they also increase your red gem damage by 283. When this is maxed out, it goes up to 300. That's a pretty decent amount. So now we have a 2-click setup that we can work on that will increase red gem damage by 600% on the last one. That is a good sign. The half Nelson neck breaker, increase your yellow MP by 9. This is useless, but it will increase the damage of all your gems by 200%. So you could theoretically do this one for 200, another 300, that gets you to 5, blow up the board, do this again, that'll get you to 8, blow up the board. That's one turn, and we do that 3 times, trying to get to 1 billion to 1.5 billion. That's the goal, all right? And then I'm a little hindered because I don't have 150% gem damage strat for this, PG era yet. But I am using tier 6 metals, Fury 3s, and I'm using a couple plates that you probably wouldn't think about. I'm using the Valkyrie's Crest. Whenever you activate a red move, increase your red gem damage by 50% for 1 turn. This will end up translating to a 200% buff, which is the same thing you would get if you used a Piper's Plate. So Valkyrie's Crest is a little bit easier to get than a Piper's Plate, a little bit more widely available. It's in the Showdown shop. All right, so that's kind of why I want to use this one. And then this one, the Hulkamaniac plate, I really like this plate. It is really goofy. I've done a couple different videos utilizing this plate, and it just, I don't know why, it just really captures my fancy. Whenever you break 20 or more gems, increase your red gem damage by 200% for 2 turns. This is fantastic. So after the first hit, we're going to get a 200% gem damage buff from this one. So you should be getting, at the last hit of every turn, you should be getting 400% from your plates, which is pretty good. And then 800 activated gem damage buff from moves at the very end of it. I think it's going to work. The other thing you could do here is probably a rumble plate, right? Let's be real. Rumble plate would be just fine. But I wanted to use these two because these are very rarely used plates. Okay. So let's take a swing at it. Oh, Entourage, sorry. Let's talk about that too. So you'll notice that MP is very low, 5, 5, and 3, and tour perks are activated. So you get 3, 1 for being yourself, so that's 4. So you only need 1. So that's coming in the form of British Bulldog here for 45% extra red gym damage, and then 2 more red MP. This is Rainbow, 40% gym damage. This is Rainbow, 40% gym damage. And Naya here is 30% more red gym damage. Anybody who does red gym damage would be fine here. And really in all of these, but this is just a really pretty decent amount of red gym damage up here. Now let's give it a shot. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. So let's figure this out on a per turn basis, because there's 2 different ways you could do this. So 332.66. The first way I'm going to do it is neck breaker first for the rainbow buff. I'm going to speed this up for a second. Then I'm going to toss the pyros. Then I'm going to break the row. Now all of these buffs will stick around. We should have activated the Lyra's plate twice right now. No, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll break the row. Okay, there we go. So Lyra's plate's triggered twice. This now triggers the Hulkamaniac plate. We're completely reloaded. We got 2 more, so we're going to do the pyros one more time. And now we're going to break the row again. All right, so how much damage are we going to do this one turn? It's a really good cascade. That's 3.5 million. That's promising. So we're going to do the rainbow buff again. This time we're going to switch it up a little bit. Okay. So first one, let me write this down so I know. 150 mil. And our base was 332.31. All right. So we're going to try multiple times to build our buffs. And that's not actually going to work because we're not going to get red. Cool. So I can't do that anyway. So break the row. Yeah, I'm just going to keep cruising right along. And what I'll do is actually on the thumbnail of this video, I will have the total amount of damage I got from him. And I'll just stick that right on the thumbnail so everybody can see what's up. This one will probably have a little bit less of a cascade. So minus 332.00. That's 310 mil. Cascade definitely hurt us a little bit. And then we're just going to do everything one more time. Now, granted, this damage can increase if you max your moves. You get a larger than what you would think increase. Oh, that's going to hurt. Larger than you think increase if you had a really nice strap instead of the 60%er. All right, we got rid of the wild card. That's good. And I'm sure if you have nicer trainers like, Tech Rocky, stuff like that, you could absolutely eke a couple more million damage out of this setup. I'm actually not too disappointed in what I got going on here. That's another 310 million. Okay, so $970 million is back of the napkin math. For me, that's really close to the billion. I will put on the thumbnail exactly how much damage I did with this Cena. And you guys can decide for yourself if this is something that you want to work on. I think this could crack a bill with a great setup. And eventually I will run it with a red Royal Rumble plate too, just to see if that is any significant damage increase. Anyway, let me know in the comments if this is better style content for you than just watching 2 full runs. I probably won't stop the full runs, but I could start sprinkling stuff like this in. And if you've learned anything today, if you've been entertained by anything today, or if you just happen to like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, share to your faction mates, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.